Welcome back. In this module, we're going to take a look at the process of starting up a business in the world of business management. We're going to cover some common reasons why people start up a business and the process of starting up a business itself. So let's dive right in. The question is, besides wanting to make a profit, what are actually the reasons people want to start a business? And this is by no means a definitive list, but it covers some really common reasons that people start new businesses. So the first and most obvious one is your rewards. And we're thinking about our financial rewards here. The trade-off is that typically being under the employment of someone else means that you don't get to keep all the rewards to yourself or the money that you make. Therefore, a central element of business management is that people who put their capital or their money at risk get the rewards if they are successful. And these are your business owners. Whereas those who don't put their capital at risk, those who don't risk their money, receive relatively safe but low wages or salaries. And these are usually less than what successful business owners would receive. And these are your employees. So in this way, it sets up a risk-return situation where the higher the risk, usually the higher the reward if it succeeds. The next reason is independence. So as a business owner, working for yourself means you aren't subjected to all the regulations and all the procedures that you might be subjected to in your usual workplaces. It means that you are your own boss and you're not subjected to someone else's rules. So starting your own business means that you get to change and set those policies and procedures as you see fit. It also means that innovators or entrepreneurs who feel restricted by the policies of working for big businesses. It also means that innovators or entrepreneurs who might feel restricted by the policies of working for big businesses, they have the freedom to innovate and to develop their business idea. Another often overlooked one is necessity. So some people simply start businesses because either their jobs have been made redundant, meaning they're no longer needed, or that they simply cannot find work. So the need to have some kind of income leads them to start a business out of necessity. And these can often turn out surprisingly well and succeed. Another one is challenge. So some people are just natural risk takers and they want to see whether they have the ability to so-called make it. It's very challenging because a person who starts a business by themselves, typically they have to operate on all fronts of the business, from human resources to finances, marketing to operations. But if successful, the business owner will usually have to adapt their role to accommodate a larger, more complex operation. And that's the element of challenge. Interest or passion is another reason why some people start businesses, and often a big motivator to succeed. If you think about your guitar shops or your vintage stores, these are very niche, often specialty shops that allow business owners to work in an area in which they have a passion or a substantial amount of knowledge in. So we mentioned finding a market gap before. And what this is talking about is that if someone finds an untapped opportunity, they can get what we call a first mover's advantage, meaning that they are the first business in the market to produce this product or service and will attract a lot of customer attention because they are the only business with that unique product. The example of the person who invented the Tangle Teasers that we mentioned before is one of the great success stories of finding a market gap. Finally, one of the big reasons for some business owners is that they simply want to share an idea. The concept is that if you really believe in something, you want to convince other people to share that belief, and you might do so using a business model. For example, yoga studios are typically owned by people who do yoga themselves, and they want to spread the idea that yoga is something everyone should do to improve their quality of life. So they market this idea using business strategies, but the original motivation is usually to spread an idea that they think is beneficial for everyone to know. So now let's take a look at the physical process of starting a business. What do you need to do? Well, we start with this idea that two features are common to all successful businesses, and these are firstly the business idea and secondly the successful planning of the business. So the business idea is talking about the basic activity that the business will engage in. Whether it's providing a gardening service or a production process for toys, it could range from something that is completely basic to something that is more complex. It might be something that is market-driven, meaning you observe an increase in demand for a certain product in society and you try to meet that demand, or it might be service-driven, which means you recognize that you have an idea and you need to convince other people that your product or service is worth purchasing. And so regardless of what your business idea is, you need to have a basic understanding of your own business activity. Then you need to carefully consider and plan out the business in order to reduce the many risks that are usually associated with starting up a business, so that things can flow as smoothly as possible. Starting up a business is very, very challenging, and so getting these steps right is absolutely crucial. The first step is to organize the basics. At the start of the business, you need to address several key questions, such as your legal structure, your location, your name, your operational structure, and what about your business infrastructures? Is it going to be a partnership between two people? Is it going to be a company where you have multiple employees? Is it going to be a private company or a public company? Meaning, are the shares purchasable? Next, we need to consider location. So if you're setting up a farm business, you wouldn't set that up in the city location. You would set up in a more remote location. Next is the name. And for the name, you need to consider whether the name tells people what the business is all about. In terms of the operational structure, you need to consider how you're going to operate this service or this product. Is it going to be a manufacturing process, or are you going to deliver door to door? What about business infrastructures? Thinking about suppliers, potential customers, what about government services? So some statistics for you. In the United States, 50 to 80% of businesses fail in the first 4 years. In addition to that, 25% of businesses fail in the first year alone. And the reason for this is usually because they haven't thought out and planned all the basics out really efficiently. Next, you need to refine the business idea through market research. Once you've established that your business idea is feasible, you need to start considering broader things, such as whether they will actually have people purchasing your product. To do this, you need to conduct market research to determine which people or demographic the product or service is going to target. It needs to answer these key questions. So let's consider the idea of starting a grocery store. It seems like a good idea. After all, everyone needs to eat. Everyone needs to drink water. Everyone needs their basic toiletries. But what is going to differentiate your grocery store from every other person's? How is your grocery store different to all the other big markets? What is going to make someone buy from your shop instead of another shop? Is it cheaper? Does it only sell vegan products? And so by doing market research, you might then realize that there are already way too many competitors to try to compete against, or that the market is what we call saturated. It already has too many businesses competing in it. So then you might narrow it down. Some market research might reveal that there is a market gap. There are not many places to buy vegan food, and some people's needs are not being met. So after doing market research, you refine the basic idea and narrow it down to a more specialized, precise idea, a grocery store that predominantly sells vegan food. And this is why market research is very important. The next step is planning the business. Once the broad concept has been refined, the entrepreneurs need to come up with a business plan, which is a document that will address all the issues that need to be addressed before operations begin. The purpose of the business plan is that it's useful for the many people involved, what we call our stakeholders. In this case, especially considering financial institutions that might provide capital, for example, your banks or your lending companies. For the business owner, it gets you to start thinking about all the key elements like how everything will operate. For investors and finances, the business plan provides them some confidence and indicates to them that the business has considered all the potential issues and is trying to address them. it indicates to them that it is safe to lend money to this business. And so it's very important to get this part right. Once that's done, we need to start getting our logistics in place. And this comes in the form of establishing legal requirements. So every single business operates in a country that has laws that influence the legal regulations that surround the business. In other words, what you can and can't do. In terms of your labor practices, your operational practices, as well as things such as your tax obligations, how much tax you have to pay. So you might notice that a lot of multinational corporations are based in Singapore, and that's because their tax obligations, their corporate tax, is very friendly. They have a very attractive tax framework and a relatively low corporation taxation rate compared to most other developed countries. In most countries, businesses have to register whether you're a sole trader or a company. There are legal entities that you register under that will determine your legal obligations and what you need to report to the government and to other bodies. And these regulations have to be in accordance with the laws of the countries that you are hosting your business in. If you think in terms of medical practice, in many countries, medical business have very specific licenses that they need to acquire before they can operate. Some other businesses may need to pass certain inspections, such as food safety inspections for restaurants. Meeting these legal requirements tend to be very long and expensive processes. And so we've only really covered a very small portion of this. Once your legal matters are sorted out, you need to start thinking about how you can raise money or finance. You need a good amount of starting finance to get the business running at the beginning, when it's likely to have very, very little income, up until the point where the business is finally established enough to finance its own operations through its own profits. This means that lenders or investors have to be very confident in the business model and your ability to succeed. And business owners need to demonstrate that to them. Then you fall under different arrangements. Some money might be in the form of investments, selling shares so that shareholders become part owners of the business and share amount of the profit. In the final step, you really want to test the market. So this is the launching of the business, and you might consider starting a pilot project to launch the business product or idea on a very small scale. And this is to test how customers or consumers will react. It's very important that you get very genuine answers from consumers on how well they perceive your product or your service to be. The purpose of testing the market is just to verify that the business idea is well received enough by the customers that it has a reasonable chance of success once it actually goes live on the market. And so that concludes this very long module on the reasons why people start businesses and the very lengthy and considerate process that goes into the process of starting a business. See you soon.